Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining up. It's day 5 of our grace journey. After a long time, we are able to come up with this journey, and as we said, all in divine time. So today it's day 5, and if you're on the page with us, facebook.com/bliss of grace, you would find a photograph along with the quote. It's by Goethe, the famous German statesman and writer, and the quote says, "It is the nature of grace to fill the places that have been empty. It is the nature of grace to fill the places that have been empty." You know, just meditating on that can tell us a lot about grace, what it is all about, and what kind of function it does. And by the way, before we move into the call, I would like to answer some queries here. Some of you send me queries here. Now, I do get a lot of emails and messages about people reporting about dreams and visions. Sometimes I have time, I reply to it, and many times, especially the longer ones, I cannot. Thank you for understanding. So, if you are attending the grace journey, all right, if you're attending the grace journey and you think that because of the grace journey you're having a particular vision, a particular sensation, or a particular dream, then feel free to write me down. I'll do my best to reply to you. Okay? However, I will suggest that you tune into a teacher. It knows the best. Okay, I really appreciate you sharing your visions and dreams and meditation experiences. It's all nice, but please understand that we receive a lot of emails and messages from around the world, so it's not possible for me to reply to it in a honest manner, if you would say, right? However, if you're doing the grace journey, um, especially the live audience, I don't know where our work will grow. Maybe in the next 2 or 3 years, I'll start receiving hundreds of emails, people attending the grace journey, right? So in that case, again, it won't be possible for me to reply on that. But however, for now, those of you who are attending live or attending offline, feel free to write me down messages about your experiences if you feel like. Okay. So we have a question from our friend Vaishali. Okay. Okay. So she wrote this on 13th of January. Today is 24th of January. She writes, hi. She has arrived right now. The software is saying, hi, I was listening to the MP3 of 31st December. In that MP3 and also in many other recordings, you said that 2016 is the year of life purpose, and to choose to know and follow life purpose is not a child's play. It requires courage, and not many people dare to have it. Not understood the statement. As from what I read, understand is when you follow the path of your life purpose, your conflict between what you want to do and what you're actually doing stops, and life becomes easy, joyful, and satisfactory. When you choose to take up your inner calling, you automatically get courage and strength even in difficulties. This question may sound stupid, but I'm curious to know your detailed explanation. Thank you so much, Vaishali, for writing down this question for us, for the journeyers. Um, as I keep saying that the truth is multidimensional. If you have ever read quotes from Bhagwan Rajneesh, it appears that he is contradicting himself. At some point he's saying that prayer is not required. At the point he's saying something like that life can be a prayer, it's an absolute act of surrender, and on and on. Our linear mind really wants to grasp the truth through the mind, and that's very good, very nice. But truth is multidimensional, you know. And to understand that, we have to, you can say, we have to, through meditational experience, we have to access the soul, what many call the soul, or something as infinite bliss or infinite light, what we like to call it. Simply trying to comprehend through the mind, grasp through the mind is not enough, So yes, it is true that listening to your life purpose or following your life purpose is not easy. At the same time, it is also true when you begin to follow life purpose, things begin to fall at place. You know, They start becoming in synchronicity. You meet the right people, you get the right resources, doorways start to open. But both statements are true, especially in the beginning. Um, in the beginning, when you are gradually waking up from the trance that, hey, I'm not here, just to make money, just to worry about one goal, one material goal after another. And there's something more. There's something more. And that something more sounds like my life purpose. Maybe I have a passion for music, for writing, maybe, for teaching, or it could be anything, even accounting. Every kind of life purpose is honored and required. It's all part of the puzzle piece. As one of the mentors would say that the best thing that you can do for your life purpose is to be in your own energy field all the time. And we're carrying so many projections and expectations and trying to be a quote unquote good person that we somehow lose ourselves, our identity, our choices. So the best service that you can do in the first place is to be in your own energy. That's the first thing. I think the shamans call it soul retrieval, complete soul retrieval. All the energies back to you. And from there, from the place of overflowing, when you do another kind of service, be it healing, be it feeding food to the hungry, etc., etc., or even teaching, that is kind of optional. I use the word kind of, you know. So don't think that if you're not called to write a book or, take workshops or, something like that, you're not following a life purpose. Your life purpose could be absolutely as simple as embodying peace all the time embodying peace, regardless of what's going on. At the same time, standing in your own ground. And we are quite trained that, how we can maintain peace if we have to speak out. That's a very interesting thing. Again, it's about an inner teacher, tuning into your inner teacher and finding that truth. So especially in the beginning, it is quite tough when people start to say, oh, you can't do it and it cannot happen. It's going to be almost 6 years for Oasis. And of course, I was very lucky to receive a lot of support from my family in terms of, yes, go ahead, try it. But I kind of kept this quote unquote work. I still don't call it a lot of work because I'm not a hardcore professional yet. So if I would have gone out to my friends and said, this is what I'm going to do, just sit online in front of a computer, do readings, take workshops, and not meet a lot of people, not even have a website or even a visiting card, even until now, they would have laughed. I can still remember the day, $7.77 when it came to me for a card reading through PayPal, and it was just amazing. This was just amazing. In fact, I also remember the day when PayPal was forced by the government to, previously you can kind of store your money there, but later on the government said that you have to, I think every 24 to 48 hours, whatever money stored in PayPal, it has to be withdrawn to the bank, and it was also amazing to withdraw that money and feel that money from the ATM, So, of course, I did find, I still find my life to be easier as compared to, if you talk about my friends who are doing a 9 to 5 job, corporate jobs, tough jobs. Sometimes they say, oh, I'm losing all my hair and you are growing all your hair. It's funny as that, but holding a lot of truth. Of course, our soul chooses its timing. We are in a particular profession, a particular job, in a particular city, in a particular home, in a particular relationship until a soul has to learn. The moment it learns, it moves to the next. So if you have been called strongly to be self-employed, and if you don't like a job, the first thing that I would suggest is accept your job, accept where you are. Remember, acceptance is the key to change. Wherever you want to change. Acceptance, be it a pattern, be it a habit you don't like. Acceptance, that's the first thing. Acceptance is the key to change. So yes, both statements are correct, are truth in their own, Vaishali. And I hope this question helps you. Thank you. And feel free to write me questions, everyone here. It gives a lot of pleasure. All right. So day 5. Static. There was a technical glitch. You were unable to have a class yesterday. But today we are here, day 5, and the full moon still looks quite bright. And before we go ahead, if you would like to be updated about our events, feel free to send me a personal message at YouTube or Facebook. Send me your email, and I'll add your email to our list. We are also doing some daily black ray transmissions, which is basically going back to the womb of Source, Divine Mother Frequency, 8 a.m. India time. Even if you cannot join it live, you can attend offline. If you're interested for that, feel free to write me a message about it, that you want to attend it, you want to be part of it. And that's it for now. Okay. So, shall we begin by closing our eyes? We invoke the sacred violet flame around our bodies. We visualize a beautiful gold and platinum dome of protection surrounding the grid. All of us. We take a moment to notice the presence of the great beings of light, especially of Archangel Michael, of protection, of guidance. We bring our awareness to our heart, and we smile at our heart. Have we noticed the flaming emerald energy starting to blossom and travel through the heart, infusing every single cell, every single organ and tissue of the body, every particle of the body, surrounding our subtle bodies as well, balancing and harmonizing these subtle bodies, including our physical body. Deep and fine breaths. But I was told a few weeks back, actually a week or two back, that the first thing I need to talk to the so-called beginners is to, and also for the advanced practitioners of the path, is the importance of taking regular, deep, and fine breathing. If you can make it connected, that's even better. Connected means there's no gap between the inhale, no gap between the exhale. But if you can make it deep and fine breathing, most of the time, every time you become aware of your breathing, this would calm down your nervous system, your brain, and will enhance the capacity to receive divine guidance, angelic guidance, the voice of your soul. It will help you to take decisions, capital D decisions. Deep and fine breathing. Regardless whatever we are doing, you'll be surprised how the simple yet extremely powerful exercise, this tip, enhances your ability to feel oneness with Source. In fact, bring more grace into your life, in every area of your life. Simple but powerful. The tips that we share here are most of the time very, very simple, and some people don't like it, but that's how we like to work with, and we have experimented with many of you, and you always report some amazing, amazing results. There would always be anxiety, there would always be so-called less time, I need more time, but you're always breathing, right? You don't have time to meditate, that's fine. It's deep and fine breathing, that's it. You have to achieve this goal, that goal, okay, that's fine, but deep and fine breathing. Make it a habit. Like 5 minutes in the morning as you wake up, 5 minutes before sleep, especially in the noon when you're going for a meeting, doing it for 5 minutes. That would be amazing. Like a dose, like a prescription for yourself. A lot of people take, medicines for panic attacks and anxiety and so much more. A lot of people even have heart palpitations and whatnot, because the mind really influences the body and the nervous system. By simply learning and sharing this with your friends, with your loved ones, it's an amazing tool. Alright, visualizing the roots of light coming down from the soles of the feet, going into the earth, and connecting with delicious green earth energy. Deep and fine breathing. Regardless of how after a long while we are meeting together, or whenever we will meet, every transmission can take many, many years to be digested by the soul, integrated by the soul. So don't worry about how it is being recorded or when it will be recorded. Just be where you are. Magana shistani sa mushtara istana sa yistale sa mukuna sa shastana. Visualizing bright white light illuminating from your heart, illuminating your entire body. Invoking the presence of the angels of light around you, within you, around every single organ of your body, bringing forth the energy of warmth, love, and grace. Visualizing white light surrounding your office, your goals. If you have any legal issues going on or any worries, visualize them in the form of symbol and visualize balls of white light surrounding it. This is a time to be with yourself. Even when you're hearing the recordings, it's really about hearing it and giving it full attention like talking to a person. It's not that you can do other stuff and kind of listen to it. As you know, even the informal transmissions are powerful. Deep and fine breaths. Now returning back to your body. Moving your fingers and opening your eyes. Notice how calmer, how much more aligned your energy fields are. We're coming after a bit of static, right? So, day 5, message of gratitude from the field of grace. I'm going to read it once and then go ahead. Sometimes, the worst is not necessary to be imagined. Sometimes, the future has to be surrendered in the arms of Creator. Mark the capital letters. Sometimes, life may bring unexpected pain. Sometimes, unexpected humor. Life is a shimmering reflection of the joys of spirit. As spirit dreams the world, it dreams the personality. It includes all, whether wanted or unwanted. Life is sharing the message of acceptance. Wow, I was talking about acceptance here. That is here. Life is sharing the message of acceptance in every single moment of now. It is in the now that suffering loses its grip. Pain may remain or may not as such. Life flows, life breathes, life dies. What seems non-living is very much alive. What seems living is very much lifeless. For many have tried to find the answers of life. Let's celebrate the variety of life, the sacred polarity of it. Come, my friend, in this moment of now, let's live and celebrate life. Very interesting. I updated status today about celebrating life. I don't remember these messages. It's just organically, its teachings are kind of transmitted, and I also keep learning from it. It's all divine timing, right? Let's live and celebrate life. A cosmic theater, a cosmic movie with all characters unique, and important. Let us not forget to celebrate ourselves. Wow, beautiful. Can you sense the energy? Sometimes the worst is not necessary to be imagined. The linear mind it imagines the worst, when something goes wrong. It could be as simple as a week-old cough and cold, and it might think, oh, I might have swine flu, maybe lung cancer. It's not that it's bad, it's just that it's a survival mechanism, it's a defense mechanism. It kind of prepares your mind beforehand and kind of start to train your body to arrange resources around and within you to face that situation, you know. So it's a blessing that our mind, the ego-based mind, imagines the worst, when something goes off. We're really living in powerful times. Me and many of my friends are reporting seeing a lot of 111, 1111s. Um, so 11 basically is a manifestation number. It's a number of mastery. When you start seeing 11, it means you really need to keep your thoughts very, very positive. And because at the time the energies are so high vibrating that anything you manifest, it manifests. In fact, whatever you tend to strongly believe, if you strongly believe that life is a tragedy, life is a tragedy, life is a tragedy, only through tragedy and suffering I can be near to God, then so it shall be. The universe, it always recognizes you as a master. Whether you don't see yourself as a master or not, it always recognizes you as a master. It is always saying, yes, master. Yes, master. Sometimes the worst is not necessary to be imagined. Sometimes the future has to be surrendered in the arms of Creator. Here again, surrender is a capital S, surrendered, which doesn't mean giving up, which means knowing that the ego mind has done its job and ego-based thinking has done its job, but it's more about surrendering to that higher consciousness. It's not also about totally letting go of the situation, but really about allowing that higher intelligence that created the universe, the stars, the earth, the delicious humanity, and perhaps many other so-called aliens, to intervene on your behalf. As Ramakrishna Paramhamsa, the great saint, would say that um, it's almost like a baby who plays inside the room with toys, and then after playing a lot, he kind of creates the mess, okay, and all the toys are uh, you know scattered around, and he's not able to figure out the why and what and how to arrange it, and then finally cries to the mother. The baby cries, "Mom!" And mother comes up and things are arranged and the baby's taken care of. What I like to call it as the taking the passenger seat, allowing your heart consciousness to guide you. Like the ego-based system would be, if someone hurts me, I need to hurt them back. But as you allow more and more high consciousness to beam to you, you would automatically come from the place of capital allow. As Buddha said, if someone is miser, treat them with generosity. If someone hates you, treat them with love. And it's a long quote. I'm forgetting the entirety of it, but it is something along those lines. So sometimes the future has to be surrendered in the arms of Creator. The capital love, unconditional love. They say we humans tend to love with hooks at the end. We have a particular wanting or wanting something back, maybe. But when we learn to love without those hooks, we have really understood love. But all of that can happen only when we start to love ourselves first, just the way we are. Whatever we are earning, we're not earning. However we look, we do not look. How we think we're popular, not popular. how whatever we think that how many degrees of education we have, or what kind of bank balance or property we have, just loving ourselves, just looking into the mirror and saying, I love and approve of myself. You remember that powerful exercise from Louise Hay? You're looking into the mirror and gazing at least for 5 minutes. I love and approve of myself. I love and approve of myself. That's a wonderful start. Another Zen meditation would be, waking up in the morning and while doing the deep and fine breathing, just communicating to your body, body, I love you, I love you, I love you. In the beginning, the ego might come up, and say, oh, you don't look like that movie star. You don't have this kind of skin or whatever. But still, just keep communicating that love. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love it to your body. You'd be surprised how your body responds. It will have goosebumps. And you'll be surprised how your body starts to heal and rejuvenate. It starts to look younger and maybe more, you know. So if you want to learn unconditional love, start with yourself. Automatically it radiates out to your family. Charity begins at home, and then on and on. So sometimes the future has to be surrendered in the arms of Creator. That absolute power, absolute wisdom that we call love. It has to be surrendered in the arms of love. Mark the capital S sometimes in the word sometimes. You know, as gradually learn to live with grace, all the time you would like to experience the presence of God. You can literally call upon the angelic beings all the time for everything. You're going for shopping, you're going to buy that home, you're going to date that person, whatever it could be. You know, you can call upon angelic beings. And the angelic beings are not, going to be disturbed. There are so many unemployed angels, if you would say. And especially when you're working with, beings like Shiva, Archangel Michael, do not worry about so-called fallen angels to come around you. Okay? If you want to be more sure, just say angels of light. I want your help regarding, and then you state the matter. It could be anything. It could be health. It could be wealth. It could be relationships. It could be spirituality. It could be anything. So the more you invite grace into your life, you would find that your high consciousness starts to beam through you and even start to reflect from your physical body. Your physical body, will start to have an interesting aura around, like you can experience around great masters, even in the physical presence. Maybe their body could be sick or not so sick. You can experience that in their voice, um, in their presence, just their presence. And that can also happen with you as well. Point is if you try it. So here the word sometimes is written, as you know, this particular thing was channeled or, intended for the general public. But as we know, it's kind of advanced. So that's the reason why we have written sometimes. But as you grow more into grace, it's like all the time. All the time, future has to be surrendered in the arms of Creator. We can have a preference, but not attachment, right? So moving ahead, sometimes life may bring unexpected pain. In fact, it brings all the time, maybe, isn't it? You know, but yes, pain is part of life. And sometimes unexpected humor, maybe, there was a misunderstanding because of miscommunication in a relationship, or maybe regarding a past misunderstanding towards your parents or anything. And then suddenly you are blessed with an insight. It's unexpected humor, right? Sometimes unexpected humor. But I think this line, unexpected humor, is kind of missing from a lot of adults. I read somewhere that people people take birth and then they die at the age of 25. Because after the age of 25, if you would look to most of the people, they have lost this childlike sense of wonder, of amazement to them, their own self, to life, and more. There's a difference between childlike and childish. Childish could be immature, but childlike is maintaining that purity of heart, that love, that quick forgiveness, and more. Sometimes life may bring unexpected pain, sometimes unexpected humor. Life is a shimmering reflection of the joys of spirit. You see, it is said that the spirit created the world. As in Hermetic philosophy, they say as above, so below, as within, so without. So I remember one channeling doing for the live audience, and the question came, why did God create the world? Or something like that. And the answer came, God created the world because God created the world. A painter likes to paint because the painter likes to paint. A singer likes to sing because the singer likes to sing. As simple as that. So this world is duality. Ekoham bahusyam. I think they say in one of the holy Hindu um, scriptures, it is said that God was bored and then he multiplied himself, herself, whatever you like to call it, itself into many, many parts, just to experience that leela, that play of duality. So everything that we experience, it all comes from the joys of spirit. We might call it a tragedy, we might call it unhappiness, we might call it as disease, death, and pain, and so much more. It's not to say that we don't have to be sensitive to it. It's just that understanding from the point of the spirit, it is all a part. Positive, negative, yin, yang, dark, and light. Life is a shimmering reflection of the joys of spirit. However, the spirit likes to play its leela. As the spirit dreams the world, it dreams the personality. The spirit, it is said that the world that we live in is an illusion. But if you go around and say the world is an illusion, I want to jump off from the cliff, how it doesn't happen that way. We are still kind of waking up from the slumber, if you would say. A lot of people, they are still only identified and stuck with the physical bodies, whatever that is physical. But as we grow spiritually more and more, we start to understand that the physical life is not the only reality. So we accept the physical life, the material life. At the same time, we start to experience and even maybe even doubt about the existence of our so-called higher life. As a spirit dreams the world, in the eyes of spirit, it's just a dream. It dreams the personality. The spirit creates you and me, the personality, the individuality, the uniqueness. It includes all, whether wanted or unwanted. Spirit dreams the world with everything that we may want, we may not want. Life is sharing the message of acceptance. From the complete state of acceptance, life is playing its leela, spirit is playing its leela through life by dreaming the world, by dreaming the personality. And it of course means it is accepting it. It's a capital A acceptance. In every single moment of now. A lot of people say that it is Kali Yuga or the times are bad. Well, if you even look back, even the times of avatars like Rama and Krishna, they were so-called bad people, you know. And if you go deeper into stories, when these great avatars, they, if you can call it, they killed in the war their so-called opponents, they granted these opponents moksha, liberation. It's very fascinating to understand how it's all accepted. Nothing is, given a resistance. Everything is played its part. Justice is done, but it's all accepted, all of it. A lot of people come to me, especially the young ones, when they move through a breakup or something, and they say, "Can you give me a pill or do some kind of healing? I can erase all the memory of that person or something." Well, the truth is, the memory will always remain. But you can always transform your connection with that memory. If you think it's painful, it is painful. It is so it is. But if you look at it from a point of lessons and maybe surrendering that linear mind to some kind of karmic balancing from maybe past life or maybe divine will, you will be able to move through life on a much more graceful note. You will be out from the time trauma, as they say. What is time trauma? Time trauma is nothing. This is something, this concept Archangel Metatron taught me a few years back. Time trauma is nothing but your consciousness getting stuck, you know, after a particular trauma or someone's passing away or the breakup of a relationship. You are kind of stoned and things move around you, but you don't have much idea as to how they're moving around, or if they're moving around, you're still munching on that pain, nursing that pain, you know. So when you come from this place of acceptance and saying, "Oh, we'll be there, so it is okay," you will experience change. And when you will experience change, you will allow more high consciousness to cellularly enter your brain. And the gift of it, the magic of it, the so-called details of the pain and tragedy might also be erased from your memory. Yes, it's like that. Isn't it amazing? You gotta accept it. It transforms. Our cells, they store the memories. Our body cells, the place where we live. But once you just accept it, it's all part of some divine plan. Maybe I don't understand. And I am the eternal spirit. Then you experience timelessness. It is different from time trauma. This timelessness is like mastery of time. Time trauma, on the other end of the polarity, is like being a victim of time, of memories. So life is sharing the message of acceptance in every single moment of now. It is in the now that suffering loses its grip. They say that if you are, I think it's a quote by Lao Tzu, not so sure. They say that if you are depressed, you are living in the past. If you are under stress or you're worrying, you're living in the future. Come to the now. Bring your consciousness to the now. Now, now, now. It is in the now. This moksha, the liberation, the kingdom of God, whatever we seek, it's in the now. Now. Meditating and becoming aware of the breath flowing through your body is a wonderful way to come to the now. Just observing the breath as it goes in and out. And as the thoughts flows, let them come. Just accept them, observe them. Don't identify with them. And you'd be surprised how your mind, you can feel the unknotting of your mind and even your body relaxing. They call it the Anapanasati technique, being aware of the in-breath and out-breath of the breath. It is in the now that suffering loses its grip. Pain is natural, pain is part, but suffering is optional. You can be traveling, your train could be late, and you can complain about the train being late all the time while you're waiting for the train, or you can just sit and maybe read a book, maybe talk to a person that you find interesting, maybe just observe what is going around. It's all up to you. The experience is basically an experience, it's all neutral. We kind of tend to define it as negative or positive. It doesn't mean that the negative or positive experience do not exist on their own. You see the multidimensional truth here? For the personality, the death of a loved one could be a negative experience, right? We cannot say that, oh, we are living in a dream. It could be a negative experience, but once we accept it, process it, we find the light on the other side of the tunnel, so to speak. It is in the now that suffering loses its grip. Pain may remain or may not as such. When we just come to the now, more consciousness comes to the now, the pain either vanishes or remains. However, our attachment, our anxiety, or how we are victimized by the pain dissolves. It just dissolves. Life flows. Mark the word FLOWS there. Life flows. Life is flowing, you know. It's carrying everything from the log to the frog to, the needles, to the flowers, to the fruits, to everything. And life is carrying everything. The more we resist life, the more we experience resistance. But the more we come to the now and acceptance and the flow of it, we find that flow manifesting in our bodies, in our mind, in our hearts. We find ourselves to become more productive, more focused, and more energized. Life flows. Life breathes. What do we mean by life breathes? It's a cycle, it's a flow. When you take an inhale, you have an exhale automatically, right? It's a natural cycle to keep you living alive. Life breathes, So it's like a cycle, it's like a flow. Life flows. Life breathes. People come, people go. We take human bodies, we leave human bodies. It's a flow. There's a cyclic existence. And then it says, life dies. It's kind of ironic to say life dies, but if you look from the personality perspective, life in some relationships die, or enthusiasm or attraction to particular hobbies, they die, to particular desires, they die. So many married couples, taking a divorce, if you would say in that case. Life dies. Human bodies die. Our pets die, our loved ones die, even great teachers who walked on the planet, who will ever walk on the planet, who are walking on the planet, they will die one day. Life dies. It's part of that contrast, part of that flow. What seems non-living is very much alive. You might have experienced that even when we express love to our computers, to our mobile phones, it gives response. And the more resentment and hatred and kind of burden we kind of transmit to our computers, our laptops, our everything that is electrical, everything, including our furniture, including our clothes, it starts to have lesser of life. Just to share a story, I was traveling to Bangalore with one of my friends, his family, and we had a hopping flight, from Raipur to Hyderabad and Bangalore. So we landed in Hyderabad, and suddenly his mobile phone stopped to work. And he was kind of hitting the phone and trying to do things, and why it's not working, it's not working, why it's not working, hitting. And then something within me, I usually do not do it, but something within me triggered, as if like a knowingness. I said, give the phone to me. I just felt so much of love in my heart, in my body, and just transmitted that love into the cell phone. Yeah, hardly for 7 to 10 seconds. And then I gave back the phone to him and I said, and then pressed the button. And as I pressed the button while giving to him, the phone went normal. He was surprised, he was shocked. He said, what did you do? I said, nothing. I projected just some love. Love is an amazing healing modality. We all have that capacity to love. We have so much love to say that it can heal the entire planet. And as Buddha says, no one as much as yourself deserve your love unconditionally. We might try to find love to relationships, to people, but you know what? We're all blessed with unique hearts, and all of our hearts love in their own way. It's not to say one heart is bigger or lesser or whatever, but we all love in our own unique way, right? So bring that love to yourself. please love yourself more. As you described before, it's not selfishness, it's accepting and celebrating the divine existence, the uniqueness that you are, regardless of what you think you are, what kind of home you're living in, or whatever. And if you really realize that love really has nothing to do with the conditions, it has nothing to do with a particular figure, a particular bank balance, or whatever. And here's the magic, here's the trick. When you start infusing more love into yourself, you know what? Your body starts to heal. The situations around you begin to transform. Your bank balance starts to increase. Isn't it magical? Yes. Life flows, life breathes, life dies. What seems non-living is very much alive. Everything is conscious, everything is teeming with life force. Everything, the great masters have said that it's all alive. I think in the Jain tradition in scriptures, they have mentioned everything as living alive. Great saints have mentioned everything as alive, as conscious, Chaitanya, as they say. What seemed quote unquote living is very much lifeless. Here we're talking about relationships, here we're talking about people. If you look around people, like the blessed beings playing the part in the glamour industry or corporate industry, they might look robust and maybe even attractive physically, a lot of wealth and a lot of pomp and show, including big time politicians. But if you ever get to know them on a personal space, they don't have life, you know. And it's not to kind of pity on them or worry about them. It's kind of understanding that, hey, these material things are really not going to fulfill us. People can have multi-millions, people can have multi-billions, but it will not guarantee joy. It cannot guarantee love. So they might be seeing, oh, they're living a life of luxury. They're living. It's not to say that it's bad, but I'm talking about the in general. There are also great masters who live in such luxury, yet they live in absolute non-attachment. It's very interesting to observe that as well. So what seems living, to the eye, oh, this politician or that businessman, it is very much lifeless, you know, very much lifeless. They're without life. They've kind of forgotten the joy of bathing in the rain, touching the first rain, the snowflakes, you know, talking with plants and animals. And it's just interesting to notice that. It's like people almost by the age of 25, they lose that childlike sense of wonder. For many have tried to find the answers of life. Let's celebrate the variety of life. A lot of people try to find the variety of life and then they say, this is the truth. This is the absolute truth. And then someone comes up and shows to them, hey, it works in a bit different manner. Some people say, oh, I've done this. I go to this temple regularly and I find God. And you must come to the temple or you won't find the answers of life. Um, it might work for one, but not for another. For someone, they can find God, commune with God in nature, in the laughter of the children. But it may not be the same for others. For someone, it could be finding that God expression within their lover, what they call as conscious sacred sexuality or tantra. But for others, it could be just a waste of energy, and being identified with the material world. You know, Many have tried to find the answers of life. The truth is multidimensional. Remember, sweet ones, it's multidimensional. So in a way, we can find the answers of life of our own, and in a way, we also cannot find the answers of life. But if you really want to give a smart, capital D diplomatic answer, all we can say is learn, love, love, and love. Great Saint Kabir would often say that, yeah, all you got to do is just learn about love. this letter love, understand this letter love. You might read so many books and scriptures, you might even be called a pundit, a great scholar on that, but love, love is the essence. What seems living is very much lifeless, for many have tried to find the answers of life. Let us celebrate the variety of life, and once we begin to understand this love frequency, universe automatically starts to rejoice from within. Let's say we start to do that mirror exercise regularly. I love and approve myself, and waking up in the morning and sending out love to our bodies at least for 15 to 20 days, at a stretch every morning, we'll find we are flowing with much ease. There are less and less of aches and pains. Our body starts to be more fluid, more flexible, and starts to have a glow. And it kind of starts to play back with you. It says, "Oh, you're playing with me, you're loving me, I love you back." You know. So when you send this love even to your job, whether you like it or not, and really express that gratitude and love for the money it provides to you, for the physical sustenance, and you just love it, and you kind of surrender to the higher consciousness. It is teaching you something. It's teaching about how not to be, how to be, and developing different qualities through the particular job. You are moved to a totally different space. Your reality shifts. Oh, that's a huge statement. Your reality shifts. Acceptance brings change. Acceptance is the key. It's the beginning of alchemy, as they say. So when you bring in this more love, life starts to celebrate back with you. It starts to um, kind of say back to you, "I'm playing with you." To give another personal example with me, here I'm blessed with a wonderful garden in this home where we live. And usually I take a walk. I make it a point at least every single day. I take a walk in my garden and kind of communicate this love to the plants and trees and everything, the soil, and just come back once in a while. Once in a while, I also perform formal energy transmissions for the plant life here. And you know what? As I do it, especially before the time of, we have a mango tree here. It's kind of short, but mature enough to bear fruits. So when I'm around this time of, when the tree is supposed to have flowers for the fruits, every single year it bears the flowers and it bears the sweetest fruits. And even if it's one, it bears so many mangoes. It's at least 200, I would say, at least, and we distribute it. However, if I have to travel and I'm not around the time of the flowering of the tree doesn't bear flowers. It doesn't bear fruits, of course. Life, this magic can really start happening with you. I also remember one ashram, they used to chant bhajans, the children of the ashram for 1 hour, and every single year this huge mango tree will bear the fruits. Every single year. They say that mango bears fruits. Um, it's like it bears the fruits once in a year. Next year it's not going to give. But when you have love, there is magic. Let's celebrate the variety of life, the sacred polarity of it. Let's celebrate every viewpoint. Let's celebrate the multidimensional truths of life. Let's not get stuck to this is the truth of life. Let's celebrate love. If we cannot agree about a particular, let's say your partner or a friend of yours says that on the spiritual path it is okay to take non-vegetarian food. Another friend says it is okay to take milk but not non-vegetarian food. Another says, it's not okay to take milk and non-vegetarian food and just be vegan. You know what? They can still choose to love. They can still choose to be friends. Isn't it? Let's celebrate the variety of life, the sacred polarity of it. Come, my friend, in this moment of now, let us leave and drop all those clinging to the "I know the truth." My religion is the best, my guru is the best. Let us drop all of it. My healing modality is the best, or my yogic path is the fastest and best. It's going around in the new age, right? Many of us have stopped kind of identifying with it. So come, my friend, let's just drop all of that and just love each other. Just love. Even if a friend is atheist, just love can bring miracles. And as I say, love is God. God is love is kind of okay, it's kind of monotonous, but when we say love is God, it's a very different explanation. And love is beyond the mind. Mind can have concepts, but love has no concept. Love has no concept. It has no concept of morals and ethics and right or wrong or this or that. Love is love. Love is. Let's live and celebrate life. And once we start to, really recognize each other's points of view and start to operate from the place of love, we recognize that, oh, life is just celebration. We're meant to celebrate life. We were just making it complicated somehow because of the old programmings. Let's celebrate the different skin colors. Let's celebrate the different cultures, different countries, different religions, different sexual orientations, different viewpoints. Let's celebrate that. A cosmic theater, a cosmic movie. We're all playing a part. As Shakespeare would say, life is a stage. You know, and we're all actors in it. We're all performing our part of the good guy, the bad guy, the neutral guy, or whatever. It's a cosmic theater. When you go to a movie, you may get involved in a movie and have tears of the emotions from the actors, but it's after all a movie. In the same manner, when you awaken to love, you just drop in the awareness that everything that was bad, that was pain, sorrow, and suffering, and tragedy, and what I would like to call as the reason of carrying that baggage of sadness, is all part of the Leela, it's all part of the polarity. And then you start sending gratitude to it, appreciation to it, even in the past or in the future. You realize, oh, it's a cosmic movie with all characters. A cosmic theater, a cosmic movie with all characters, unique and quote-unquote important. Every character is important. Every character. The movie cannot be completed. We're all part of the puzzle piece. It is said that when Krishna incarnates, he incarnates with his team. When great teachers incarnate, they incarnate with their particular students to influence humanity. When we also incarnate, you and me, we also incarnate with a particular so-called soul family. And that person, that member of the soul family, can also play the part of the bad guy so as to strengthen us, so as to help us experience the polarity. I used to do readings for some people, and I was astounded to see sometimes couples who would have fights for very bitter fights. They were actually soulmates. And I was like, what? They're soulmates? They were supposed to be loving and lovey-dovey and all of that. But I was told that, no, they're soulmates. They are meant to bring strong contrast into each other and to act as gurus to each other. So a cosmic theater, a cosmic movie with all characters, unique and important. Let us not forget to celebrate ourselves. And as we try to celebrate life, our relationships, everything that is, let us not forget to celebrate ourselves, our particular uniqueness, our particular weirdness, our particular habits, our particular quirks, as they might say. We might have our own quirks and preferences, but we can be enlightened in love. Let us not forget that. Let us not forget to celebrate ourselves. Wow. Let us go into a formal transmission. I'm going to turn off the camera. You may not see me on the recording because it's not available. The camera thing is only for the live audience. Okay. So allowing yourself to close your eyes. Taking deep and fine breaths. letting everything just fall away. You always have the recording, you can listen to it. Smiling at your heart center, visualizing a bright pink light at your heart, a golden pink light. Smiling at it. Allow it to be brighten more and more, sparkle and dazzle, and let it continue to expand into your cells, into your tissues and organs and bones. Deep and fine breaths into your subtle bodies, into all the chakras, your aura. Just smile and laughter and love. Being in soul bliss doesn't mean we are always going to have a haha kind of time. It simply means we're going to experience the polarity, but we're always going to remember, or at least return back to this awareness that we are the ocean of light. The ocean may have tides and storms and so much more, but the ocean is an ocean after all. There could be mountains falling inside the ocean, but the ocean is the ocean. Remember, at the same time, it allows. When we allow this contrast and journey with it, travel through it, we find great depths into who we are. It's not about following the behests of the inner child. It's coming from the deep place that holds the polarity, yet is not the polarity. It cannot be limited by polarity. It is the all that is. It is pure awareness. In Buddhism, they call it the emptiness. The form is the emptiness. The emptiness is the form. Every sense is emptiness. Emptiness is every sense. There's no ignorance. There's no ignorance to be healed or cured in this emptiness. There's no knowledge to be gained in this emptiness. Like they say in the Heart Sutra. Allowing this beautiful energy of unconditional love, which has no agenda, just illumined around your body. Just accept every body part of yourself, every inch. And let it blaze through all the subtle bodies. You may want to visualize these subtle bodies as layers of light. The etheric body, astral body, mental body, karmic body, galactic body, and more. So much of love, so much of love. You can experience miracles every single second, only if you choose to love, 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 and love yourself. Other things come on their own. We talk about loving others, we talk about serving the poor and all of that. But here today we're talking about loving yourself deeper and deeper and deeper, appreciating yourself for all that you are, all that you have been, all that you're going to be, regardless of what, regardless of not. Notice how your body cells are smiling back at you. It's pure love. Perhaps you're having a big grin or a big smile. If that is the case, that's it. That's fine. If not, that is fine as well. Some of you might start to cry or have tears because it's a very healing, it's very dissolving of the old paradigms of why or how you are supposed to love. Nothing wrong with your parents, nothing wrong with the society. They just transmitted it to make you a better person. But they forgot that when they start putting conditions about love, they were limiting their access to love. Deep and fine breaths. I would like you to visualize yourself inside a beautiful nature scenery. It could be a forest, a mountain, vast fields. Just bring awareness to this nature scenario. Allow yourself to feel the green of the place, the gentle sunshine, the love of Mother Nature bubbling around, the strong chi field, pranic field, energy field, so pure and serene. Isn't it sun wonderful? It is giving love, so much love to the earth and the planets. We tend to be on the giving side more because we kind of remember our giving nature, our positive nature. But on this plane of duality, we have to understand the game of receiving and giving. Until, of course, we reach a point where we no longer, quote unquote, require duality, like great masters who walked on waters or manifested, or who showed the pathway to liberation. Prophet Muhammad, Jesus, Sai Baba, and many, many great ones. All came at their own time, what was required at that time. All bring transformed teachings. The teachings remain at the core the same, but the presentation transforms according to the time. Bring your awareness to your belly. You might already start to experience the sweet nectar pouring to your tongue. When I just talk about so much of love, our body automatically starts to produce amrita, this nectar of youth and a nectar of life, a powerful cure for many so-called diseases. As we continue to take deep and fine breaths, you bring awareness to this flame of love in your heart and around your body, and send these beams of love emanating out from you into the field around you, into Mother Nature, into the ground, into the grass, the leaves, the frogs, the snakes, the lion, the tiger, into the trees, into the sky, into the air, into the stars, into the sun, on and on and on. So much of love. Let's for a while forget the goal setting and what happened in the past. How about we just express love in the now to our bodies, to everything that is around us? So relaxing, so opening, isn't it? No more conditions, just love. Just unconditional love, not even emanating love so that you will get it back. It is universal law. What you give, it returns back to you manifold. That is true. But here we are beaming unconditionally, without any thought, like that of a mother's heart to a child. A mother's heart pours her love. If you are one of those rare beings who did not experience the completeness of mother's love, know and remember that our mothers got us from the galactic field, from source, with no manual. They did their best. You may want to allow yourself to open your heart to the Divine Mother. Bring awareness to your higher heart, your cosmic heart. The higher heart of the cosmic heart is present a few inches above the heart chakra. Your heart chakra is present at the middle of the chest, and a few inches above it. This is where you feel a lot of joy, a lot of bliss. This is the higher heart chakra, the cosmic heart chakra. allowing beams of pure pink energies to beam into this high heart chakra and let it flood your body into your cells. As you hold the visualization, allow these sonic frequencies to further accelerate the work. Not trying to change us, but just love. The sacred love making with the divine, Brahmacharya. Lord Krishna was absolute Brahmachari, if you're aware, but he had many wives, many lovers. The inhale and exhale, regardless of how bad you think or others think, you're still breathing in and breathing out, isn't it? Isn't it proof enough that life accepts you just the way you are, whatever you had been, whatever you are, you think you are? It is breathing. Life really loves every single character, from the victim to the murderer, from your past life to a murderer, or a hunter, or so-called bad person. Every master was once a disaster. We have evolved to timelines and timelines. It took us long, long way to reach here. Om. Om. Every mistake expands the universe. Every choice of every individual being expands the universe, brings contrast, brings more play, brings more spice into the cosmic movie. We call for the beloved human ego in this higher heart as it experiences the grandeur, perhaps even the unworthiness to be in this such sacred light of your true nature, your Buddha nature, your Christed nature, God, Goddess, all that is nature that you are. We communicate to the human ego that it really deserves to be here. We welcome its yes. We celebrate its yes to be of higher service, to be of service to our I am presence. As it gradually lifts away its control, its clutches from the cells, allowing more and more of the higher consciousness to take over. Taking the passenger seat, allowing your high consciousness, your Buddha nature, your Tirthankar nature, whatever you like to mention it as, to take charge of your consciousness and serving the will of the divine that you are. Mukona Shistini sa Mushtala Sayastana sa Buastana Sayashtare sa Istale sa Puno Okuna Botani Sishistele sa Mukune sa Shastana Buastana sa Ye Okwa. With a full deep breath, bringing back your awareness to the nature scenery wherever we started. visualizing thousands of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, great enlightened beings, pouring flowers upon your body, offering flowers to you, as if they see you as a deity inside the temple, offering flowers to you for your remembrance, for your in light, in love, enlightenment, enlightenment, remembering the light that you are, pouring so many flowers, as I see that you are a cosmic deity as well, a true Buddha, a master, a master in training, gods under the making, in the plane of duality. With a full deep breath, I would like you to bring awareness back to your spine wherever we started the session. With inhale, visualize the Shakti, the energy moving up within the spine. With exhale, allowing the energy to move down to the spine. And with as this inhale and exhale, know that this awareness is gradually massaging your spine, calming down your nervous system, your cells, your body. Your spine is a Meru Parvat, it's a Mount Meru, the churning point of the Devas, the angelic beings, and the so-called demonic beings. All are part of creation though. All are children of the divine, all, without exception. It is said that Lord Shiva accepts all the demons, the ghosts, the so-called evil spirits. They all worship Shiva, they all worship Kali, all accepted. Such a cosmic being you are, Blessed One. As you continue awareness in the spine and the tips of your fingers and your toes, with inhale and exhale, I'm going to chant the mantra So and Hum, which basically means I am that, I am. As I chant the So, bring awareness to the inhale, the energy running up the spine. As I chant the Hum, bring awareness down to the spine, alright? It's a powerful mini Kriya technique. So hum. Feel it loud. So hum. 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 The great masters do not lie when they say, in a split second all karma can be washed off, all karma can be dissolved. When we experience a timeless, a Mahakala true nature, All the lessons are automatically remembered and learned, and karmic backlash is no longer required for the soul to evolve. The soul finds its oneness. It becomes a Paramahansa, the Arhat, the Arihant, the liberated being. Arihant, a Pali word, which means the one who hunts, the one who kills, the one who kills old ego-based qualities which were guiding one's thoughts, feelings, emotions, and actions, but are no longer guiding the person, the soul. And thus, the person is embodying absolutely refined clarity of the mind and emotions, life itself. No doubt, they're revered as pure and holy beings. Soham, 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 Soham. Aren't you so delicious? Can you sense this oneness of the divine, this brahmacharya, this absolute union of your sexual energies, of your conscious energies with the divine, buzzing to your cells? The sacred rasa, the sacred dance of the Krishna and Radha. Bring awareness into your belly button now. Mogostinestashishtalasaya mushtanasaya. On behalf of all of humanity, we invoke the opening of more and more grace as a divine intervention from the divine for humanity and of course for ourselves. Boishtanasaya, bringing your awareness to navel, keep your attention there. Boishtanasaya stanasaya ishtalasaya mushtanasa aukurasaya. May we remember to connect with the Divine Mother, the Divine Womb. The Divine Lao, the Divine Will, to the third eye, the forehead chakra, the unicorn center. Through the crown, through all the chakras, the 360 degrees in all dimensions of time and space, hooking back into the field of love. For all is created by love, all is love, all is washed back into love. Boishtana Saistala Saishtana Sayashtane Simoishtana Saishtana Saistale Sayamushtana Sa Ukuni Sa Ishtana Sa Ishene Tini Mokwana. Every single cell cocooned, vibrating, spiraling in the beautiful essence of love. Love is a sign of evolution. Boishtana Sa Ashtana Sastale Sa Nushistani Simokwana Sa Ashtanu Sa Ukura. Visualizing the powerful light green matrix of the green forest surrounding all of us in the grid. Integrating this transmission for all of us in humanity and all who join up multidimensionally with joys and grace completely, deeply, and permanently if you so choose. And so it is. We gently move our fingers and our toes, and you feel the sensuousness flowing in our blood, in our breath. This force that loves us so much, it's crazy about us, it keeps the breathing going. It has gifted us the gift of life. Our mothers, our parents simply provided the bodies, but the consciousness, the software and more, is actually provided by this I Am Presence, by this infinite intelligence that you may call as the God Self. Bring awareness to your belly button, to your spine, to your neck, and at your own pace, giving yourself a great big hug for bringing so much of light and awareness into your consciousness and contributing to the sacred field. My entire body's buzzing. It's just love, 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 and love. Be very aware of the previous instructions, the previous recommendations shared with you about the dreams, about the cleansing water baths, about the energy hygiene. I hope to see you all very soon. We're always live, we're always connected in this field of love, all of humanity, all of creation. Point is, are you willing to connect to it? We celebrate that absolute yes. I'm so honored to be part of a journey of transformation, sweet ones. I look forward to hearing your feedback if you feel guided to. I hope you're maintaining the journal. Some of you are going online and then offline. I recommend that you hear the call again at YouTube. And blessed be for being who you are, right? The moment we remember who we are, we already find that, oh, I'm already blessed. It can kind of work both ways. When we are blessed, we find our own self. And when we find our own self, we find ourselves already blessed. So we give great thanks to Divine Force as the sacred grid, for illuminating and tickling us once again into this field after coming after a long time together. We give great thanks. Thank you everyone for joining in. This is Narmada Akshat for Online Lightwork is Oasis. Feel free to send me a request at Facebook. I'm on Facebook. Or feel free to like our page. And if you would like to be updated about our events, just drop me a message. I'll add you to the email list. If you would like to be part of our 8 a.m. Black Ray Healing transmissions, feel free to drop me a message regarding it. And by the way, we're also doing one-card readings every single day for the group of the Black Ray Healing. For details, just drop me a message. I'll be happy to add you there at the group. The group can only have 50 people for now. It's a particular app, and we hope that it expands. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. It feels like not leaving here, right? We can always experience this field of love within ourselves. We just come together, we play for a while, we dance for a while, we remember our fullness, and then we continue with our journey, keeping each other in our hearts, in our cosmic hearts. Namaste. Bye. Namaste.